Welcome back. Episode 10.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for,
It's good to be back.
on a Friday.
Don't disclose when we do the episodes, man.
My fault, guys. Just letting you know, we record these in advance, so
Might be Tuesday.
maybe. But if we do miss anything throughout the week, it's because we pre-record these.
Sounds like an excuse, Brian.
Oh, my fault. Anywho, Tony, introduce yourself. Tell the people what you're all about.
My name is Tony. I am wearing Reimagine 3s. Made these shorts myself. It was like a little bootleg essentials, sold out essentials. You can see.
Hashtag Jerry Boys.
This is our hoodie that we never released. And then this is another shirt of ours, as you know. I don't like to wear our own stuff, so also saved me a lot of money.
Word.
Got the Friends and Family
Yeah.
sold out hoodie. Exclusive to only Tony.
The friends and chens, as you may call.
The Chens and Friends.
Let's coin that.
Let me see. Wearing my beaters today. CDG 95s. Nothing special about them. Just my go-to sneaker. The one I have at the door as soon as I leave the house. Leo, what do you got on? I see you showed us up today.
Nah, I was at I just came from a museum of ice cream, and the theme today was pink, so figured I'd just throw on some uncles, you know what I mean? Set the mood.
It's very casual.
Yeah, it's casual fucking Tuesdays.
Very on par for you, though. I'm not going to lie. Don't mess with the shoe selection.
Other than that, we are happy to introduce our sponsored liquor deal that we got going on with Blue Royal. Look at this beautiful, beautiful guy right here.
Of course. This
All right.
episode is brought to you by Blue Royal. It's a tequila and rum.
Mm.
Interesting enough, there aren't a lot of these on the market. It's available both in New Jersey and New York. They also ship out to all 50 states in the U.S. So
Yes.
if you're not local, you can always have it shipped out to you. We'll include all their info in our bio. In the description. And you guys could click away and order a bottle if you want.
We'll also put their Instagram, which has all their information right here. Just want to thank you guys again. Salute to you.
But yeah, shout out to them because they're bringing this episode to you guys.
Nah, for sure. So what we got on the plate today. I wanted to dive into maybe ranking union collabs, both Nike and Jordan, since they're on one and the same wavelength for them, it seems. So what are your forget about ranking them. What are your let's say top 3 union collabs with Nike or Jordan?
Honestly, I think that probably the Blue Toes would be up there. There's no specific order, but I also like the Noir Jordan 4s, and I'm actually a big fan of the one that just dropped that everyone hates, which is the one with the woven pattern. I don't know what it's called, but I know that on the market, aftermarket, or whatever it may be, it tanked completely. I'm actually hoping to get a pair of retail because I did not know about the drop, because I'm just not too in tune with what's going on anymore.
Word.
No, I'm going to have to agree
The
on Tony.
BBSs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree on Tony with that one. That shoe is clean. I'm a little bit biased. I love white shoes, but it's different, man. The whole footscape thing really just, and the story behind it, it's, Union always knows how to put something together.
Word.
Besides that one, though, I'd probably have to say, if I had to pick a colorway of the 4s, it'd definitely be the black pair. So that's
Off
definitely,
Noir.
yeah, off Noir. That'd definitely be up there. And I guess outside of that, I want to say the Blue Toes because the Storm Blue Union because but I feel like I'm biased because I've owned that pair before.
So you had the same exact list as me.
Yeah, basically this. Yeah,
Exact same list, but in reverse.
Real creative, Brian. Real creative.
hey man, he stole my answers.
He stole your answers.
I'm gonna steal shit.
My fault, guys. My fault.
Well, my I don't know. I guess top three, with no specific order, is going to be the Union Jordan 1 Black Toe, the Union Air Force 180, and the Union Passport. Which, backstory on that, one of my all-time grails that I'll probably never buy because the shoe will be destroyed is Pistachio Dunk Highs. So, when that shoe came out, the Passports, I definitely copped the pistachio colorway, and I liked it so much that I bought one to keep with the film on it, and I chopped one up to bring out the pistachio colorway of it.
No, I remember when you wore that. That was I didn't even know that you could do that to the upper. So
Yeah.
that was definitely something I was like surprised about.
Nah, for sure. And RIP to my Air Force 180s. I wore them all throughout the summer of our grand opening here, and they eventually came apart on me.
How old is that shoe?
How old are you?
22.
It's about 3 years older than you.
There we are. Heard it here first, guys.
Yeah. Sad day.
What else we got though, Leo? I know you said you went to the Museum of Ice Cream, but did you go to Undefeated? You make a
Nah, it was packed, man. By the time I got out of freaking Museum of Ice Cream, it was 3 p.m. rush hour, and I was like, Undefeated or stay here till 6.
It's like, where's this new store located?
It's in Soho. It's right. I want to say it's on Lafayette, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's on Lafayette.
So Lafayette and what? Because I know that Supreme's on Lafayette.
They used to be. They're on Bowery now.
What?
They moved. They're on the corner now.
No, but they're still on Lafayette.
What? No, they closed that spot down, Tony.
No, aren't they just down the street on Lafayette? It's because they took over the CVS or Walgreens or wherever that was, and that's on Lafayette.
Yeah, but they just claim it as Bowery, not Lafayette.
Well, it's still it's still the fucking cross streets. It's like they're literally on the goddamn corner.
In other news, in true Nike fashion, as you stated earlier, you like the Jordan 1 Union BBS, the woven joint. Well, why do you like that shoe?
Well, I was always a fan of the Footscape.
Well, I'm going to cut you there because they knew that, and they pulled your string at your heart because guess what's coming out, Tony?
A Footscape?
A shit ton of
No, well, so you didn't let me finish. I was always a fan of the Footscape, but
you never wore it.
No, but whenever I tried it on my foot, it was ugly. I loved looking at it on the shelf.
Yeah.
But
my
having it on my
God.
foot, it was
Yeah.
disgusting. It was just,
There's a lot of shoes like that.
It's
Nah,
just,
yeah.
I get
it
what
was
you mean.
just like it
Like
was so bulky. I
Tom
couldn't do
Dude.
it. It's like I tried so many colors. Like I love the shoe, but the moment I put it on, I'm like, oh, this is so ugly.
Yeah, I've already there's already at the end of the month there's a cow print coming out. So
No,
it's like it's
no,
brown.
I gave up on this shoe a long time ago. I love the shoe for everyone else, but not for me.
I'm just letting you know. You said you like Footscape, so Nike heard you, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
coming
but-
out with the cow print woman's version. That's brown and tan. It's all pony hair, by the way. In case you
Jesus.
love pony hair,
Well, I'm
there's
gonna
a-
call it now and say that silhouette is going to tank.
there's a black and gray edition,
That's crazy.
and I also saw a black and green edition. So yeah, I guess maybe it'll be the new Vomero. Who knows?
I mean, I think
I
it's
was
cool.
exactly just gonna say that. It was like, it's the flavor of the week.
I think it's cool that Nike's bringing back all these silhouettes from the past. But you think there's anything that they should rework into today's era?
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything. What was a shoe that I wore back in the day that I loved?
Because obviously in recent times we've seen like Nike, the Nocta Glide has the design language of that. Which,
Jason Kidd.
yeah, the Jason Kidd.
Mm.
So it's like they're obviously taking cues from past silhouettes and feeding them to a newer audience,
Yeah.
which is cool and all. But I feel like it also it harkens back to like, you know, re-releasing a shoe that, you know, people have fond memories of. So I feel like what comes to mind at least was the what's that called, the Alpha Project. Do you remember that? Where we got the Presto and all that stuff.
No.
No.
No, that was Jeez, that was
What?
long ago. You don't remember that?
No.
No.
Someone look it up, bro. I
you
know I'm
talking
not
about?
tripping. Anyways, you don't think there's a silhouette Nike should bring back?
No, I can't really think of anything. It's like I was like back in the day, I was a fan of the 180s, like when the unions came out. Those were a big thing to me. I was like, I used to wear those partying all the time.
Jeez.
What else was there? Well, I might be alone on this, but there was a Pippin that came out that I was a big fan of. It was all white, and it had like that blue line on it, but they came out with all these other colors, like it was white with red and et cetera, et cetera. But I don't remember the exact number of the Pippin.
I remember that was like that moved pretty well at Foot Lockers amongst like sneakerheads of the older audience. Like that was a sneaker that they gravitated towards.
Word. If they're smart, they'd bring back the oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Not the Flyknit, not the racer, the Flyknit trainer to compete with current runners and shit.
There's a lot of people actually, I think probably within the last month, there's a lot of people walking into the store asking for Flyknits. It's like, well, not a lot, but there's been more than usual.
Mhm.
And I feel like they just want that to come back. But when did they stop making? So I have no idea when they actually stopped making it.
I think that was when
I want to say around my bad. Good.
I was gonna say that's when they gave up on like lunar lawn technology.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably, if I can put a timestamp on it, it was around the time that Kanye went to Adidas.
And then everything was about Ultra Boost.
Yeah. So then
And
Nike
then they were
came
trying
up
to
with
they were trying to compete with Ultra Boost and NMD and shit like that. So they kind of like got scared and just started fucking innovating.
yeah.
No,
so-
but then the Flyknit did come back out for like a minute, and then it died out again.
well, I think it was
Was it
Nike was trying to innovate that technology.
Yeah.
So the next in line to that like Flyknit racer,
Was React, no?
yeah, it was the Element 55 React.
Yeah, in the 87.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like supposed to be the next big thing because I remember that shoe had like a collab with like Kendrick Lamar even got a collab for that shoe.
Yeah.
It was like who else? Undercover. right?
Undercover got a collab. The OG colorway, that shit resold.
That was but that still was very short lived.
Yeah, because it hurt.
Yeah.
It literally hurt. Like putting it on.
Oh, it didn't. It didn't feel good at all.
No, it literally would like
Yeah.
cut into your ankles.
It's very like there's no structure to it. It's very flimsy. It's almost like they were trying to replicate the same success with the Flyknit racer,
Yeah.
but like none of the things that made the Flyknit racer good were there.
Bro.
So it just fell short.
I think even Sneaker Room did a like a 3-pack breast cancer awareness shoe with that.
Mm.
With the Reacts.
Yeah, I bought Adri the all pink ones, and then I think like there was one that had like Swarovski crystals, and I was like, that's not gonna last. I'm not even gonna spend. But as far as like, I felt like it was gonna fall off.
Well, it's very true because the CPFM dunks, I've heard that whoever actually wore them probably maybe a handful of times, maybe like
Start
5,
popping
6.
them off.
Yeah, they just start popping off.
Jeez.
And imagine
Good
dropping
Lord.
what $3,500 on a pair of sneakers.
Yeah, that shoe's
And-
expensive.
It pops off, and it's like you're not gonna notice it,
Yeah,
Hmm.
and that's the worst part. So you're not gonna go around trying to look for it. The same thing happened to me when I had the LV Jaspers.
mm.
I forgot what part came off, but I remember that I looked down. Oh no, I'm sorry, not the LV Jaspers. It was the Yeezy 2s,
Okay.
the Aglets.
Yeah, because
So it was so heavy that I guess like as you walk, like it spins.
yeah,
Mhm.
So my first time undesing it, I walked home and I was missing 2 of them.
yeah,
Are those like gold plated or
It's probably whatever.
Yeah,
it's whatever. It's-
But if you see nowadays people selling those, it's always missing 1, 2,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's never a full set.
so when I lost 2, I
Yeah.
took all them off,
Yeah.
and it was crazy because I was like, "You got to be shitting me!" Because I just unds this like $3,000 shoe,
yeah.
and I lost 2 of my
to
Aglets.
the Aglets?
Jesus Christ.
That box is flimsy as fuck too.
Nah, word. As a fanboy, I would love for them to bring back the one night only when they did the fucking
Stash?
No. Well, not the stash specifically, but that 360 unit where they put on everything.
Oh, I remember that because I got mine
Yo.
at Michael K's.
Yeah, I love the Union. They came out
With the-
synonymously.
Air Max 97 Unions.
Yeah, I love those. I had the Air Max 95s, the bacon with the freaking 360 on the bottom, and I also had a highlighter pack 97 with the 360 unit on the bottom. But a lot of other ones, I can't remember the names of them right now, but
That's when
that-
Air Max was all the rave too.
yeah, I think Para had a pair.
What, the Running Man 95?
Yeah, but around that same time, like they were just giving everybody this 360 unit. It was short-lived. I want to say at the time that was like the biggest air unit they used because it was the whole bottom. It wasn't just like the back or the front or whatever.
I forgot how that collab actually did. I don't think it was like really sought after.
Which collab?
Like when they released like the whole pack of the like the Union 97s, all that other stuff, like with the big air unit.
I don't think. Well, I don't have the data for it, but I think it did well then. It was more so like it was reselling for a lot.
Was it? Because I remember that I think I bought to resell, and I don't think I made that much.
The Union 97.
Yeah.
I know I bought the Union 97, and then I bought the Air Max or the Air Force 180, and the Air Force 180 was harder to get because that was the shoe of that time frame. But I swear I paid resale for the fucking Union.
Well, I paid resale for the Air Unions at Michael K's, I think a week before the release.
Jeez. You remember how much you paid?
I don't remember, but I do remember me going up to the register and not knowing I was going to pay over MSRP.
Yeah.
and then they were like, oh, blah, blah. I'm like, what? I was broke. I was like,
So you're just like, yo.
I was like, I
You
guess.
handed them
I was
the
like- I was like, I guess.
Nah,
'Cause I don't want to be that guy.
yeah, that's when back in the day, like places like Magic Sneaker would like be like, yo,
oh, magic.
I see you're like eyeing this week's shoe, but I got next week's in the back.
That was what a time to be alive, bro.
It's
Nah,
not,
man,
but it's
you don't
definitely not
want to
like
be
that.
alive.
No, it's not like that anymore.
Nah,
It was fun. It was actually like
Well,
the
there's-
hunt was fun.
there was no social media and people weren't getting in trouble. What are you gonna do? Email Nike?
Yeah, I feel like everyone gets put on blast
You
the
put-
moment like
You gonna hit them up
anything.
on AIM?
Yeah.
No, it's like if people don't like what's going on, about the whole thing is, I'm gonna rat you out.
No,
It's like
or-
that's how so many of these mom and pop shops, their accounts got taken away because like, oh,
Nah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh yeah, you were backdooring to me, now you can backdoor to somebody else.
Mhm.
You know what?
How dare you?
Yeah, it's like how dare you? It's like I'm gonna use my fingers and write it all over about Twitter. I'm like,
No, word.
Yeah.
bro, it's like, yo, you just took someone's livelihood away.
No, word.
No, but
It's so messed up.
It happens so often too. Like the most recent one I can remember was the Lost and Found, where I think it was a Foot Locker employee that took like a bunch of
Oh,
pairs,
he was just an idiot.
and it still had like the shipping label, and it told you the SKU and what size was in the box, and he went straight to Flight Club,
yeah. No,
or Goat Drop Off because
Mhm.
they have a drop off location.
Oh,
There.
wait. Was that infamous video that came out?
yeah, where
Is
the
it-
kid
it's
is
like-
on a
it's like that-
dolly
it's
and
like
he
that.
has.
He's like pushing it
If
around.
you
But-
look close
But
enough,
Why? But did that guy get caught?
well, it's not about getting caught, but he didn't censor anything. So if you look closely enough and you know what you're looking at, you can see the store number on the box.
Wait. You could zoom in.
It's a video. You
Someone
can-
took like a clear video.
yeah,
it
like,
was
there was
yeah,
multiple people like,
Oh,
oh, this
really?
is bullshit.
Yeah, there were
Yeah.
so many angles of that. It was
Yeah.
insane.
Well, at that point, you're just a. Right?
That's
You're
what I'm
just a fucking
saying.
idiot.
like, You could have easily just like took a box cutter and cut the fucking box. So you could take the sticker off and
Well-
it just has the imprint.
Well, just let you know, even when we try to get backdoored, these people who backdoor, there's a process,
yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
an
for
extensive
sure.
process. Like
Mhm.
they take off everything. I'm not going to go
Nah,
into detail about it because
Oh,
it's
I
I'm
was. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna say anything because
Yeah.
it is what it is,
It still
and I get
happens.
it. But it's a whole process because they
Nah,
know
yeah.
that people are watching, et cetera, et
Exactly.
cetera. And I get it. It's like I've been at people's warehouses for like 2 hours, removing certain stuff
Mhm.
Yeah.
just so they don't get caught. And
Nah,
I'm like,
word.
you do what you got to do.
yeah.
It's very like, I mean, people do it to keep lights on, and I get it. I don't think there's any shame in it, really.
But you also have to understand. It's like the whole thing about getting certain shoes, getting certain pairs, or the being allotted the quantity you're allotted is
Mhm.
that you have to take a lot of BS.
No, yeah.
In order
Yeah.
to do
In
it,
order
yeah.
to get the like
Which
the
some-
tier 0 drop.
which,
Yes,
which
and that-
sometimes includes like apparel.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's the part. It's like, yo, it's like even your sales rep probably knows that you're gonna lose on all of this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But so it's like, you know what, I'm gonna allot you X amount if you take X amount,
Yeah.
and
It's
that's the
like-
part that sucks.
Exactly. So,
So-
like you literally have to take like all this bullshit in for like 4 hot SKUs for the year type
Yeah.
shit.
So it's like, so when your local mom and pop shop, they don't try to hook you up, it's because you don't buy the other crap.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of stores that, you know, when you buy their personal merch or
Mhm.
it's like what else?
Like just
or-
like
yeah, just like the apparel.
Random-
just apparel,
Yeah,
yeah.
just apparel.
They'll look out for
socks.
you, yeah.
It's like if they know you buy that stuff, they're probably gonna put you at the top of the list
Yeah.
100%.
because
For sure.
because they have to get rid of that one way or another, or it's probably gonna go on sale,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then they're gonna make less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like they're fighting just to try to make their money back, but their bread and butter, obviously they know and they could backdoor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't blame them. It's like if I had an account, I would definitely back through every single person because unless you're buying my BS, which is putting like food on the table,
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't really help me.
No, it's the name of the game, you know. Like I feel like a lot of people don't really see that aspect of it, and it's pretty easy to dismiss because it's like, oh, like I didn't get a pair, like you know what I
No,
mean?
no, it's stupid.
It's very
like-
easy to get that mentality.
no, because none of them know what these people go through.
No, of course, and then that's what some stores have to do to keep lights on because it's at the end of the day they have employees, they have staff,
Yeah.
they need to keep overhead, you know, at a minimum, and it's like they're not meeting their quotas, and you know they have to find other ways to do it.
No,
Nah,
it is
word.
what it
Yeah.
is. You know,
I mean-
it is what it is.
At-
Yeah, really.
At the end of the day, MSRP is
Suggested.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, here's the price and you got to
Yeah.
put that.
It says suggested,
suggested.
price. Yeah.
So it's the same way that car companies now or car dealerships are inflating prices to meet today's inflation prices. Like what are you bitching about? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if you gotta pay, you gotta pay. If not, go somewhere else, bro. It's
Nah,
not that hard.
it's basic economics, man. It's just
You know what I mean?
supply and
Like-
demand, you know?
No, it's more the entitlement.
Yeah, it's like,
Well-
bro.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people in this community feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like, I pay, I say thank you, I grab a t-shirt or two, and I keep it fucking pushing.
Yeah.
But I
right.
tell people like whoever's backdooring, like I know they're backdooring, but it might not be to me. But I tell them straight up. It's like, yo, if you want to come to me instead of someone else, I can let you know that I'm not going to take offense to it if you sell to someone else like your
Yeah.
shipment from like 2 weeks from now,
Hmm.
because
No.
you know I know it's a bidding war.
I don't think it's
But-
anything personal, too.
No.
So, yeah.
I know, but some people do take it personal.
No, no,
because they
yeah.
expect it.
Yeah. I get that. That
Yeah.
I understand, but it's very unwarranted when you know that person has to like run a business at the end of the day.
Nah, word.
You know?
I mean, there's multiple locations where, like, you know, throughout the month or whatever, I'll just randomly pop in, bring them a coffee, buy a t-shirt, you know, say what's up, whatever the hell.
I
and
know.
then-
I think so. When I used to mess with certain managers at Foot Locker,
yeah.
they would never ask for like, oh yeah, just put like $30 in my pocket or whatever.
But that's
It's like, you know what they would ask for?
food.
No, no,
no,
no,
you
no.
buy their apparel.
No. They'll be like, oh, just buy like a shoe cleaner or a sock.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's because they wanted their UPT to be up. They wanted their store
Yeah.
numbers to be up because what?
Because it looks
so,
good.
So you guys have more experience in this. So when those specific numbers are up, you get allotted more stuff, right? Is that right?
For the most part,
yeah.
it's yes. And I feel like the managers get this bonus
Hmm.
that, you know, a lot of the sales associates don't know about. So it's mostly why a lot of the managers are like, you have to sell a shoe cleaner or a crease protector. Or back then, I know they don't carry insoles anymore, but back then it was like you sell insoles, shoe cleaner, crease protector, whatever the hell they have,
Yeah.
you know, and that was really it, you know, like that. If you weren't doing that, then, you know, you weren't the ideal employee.
And like for like a company like Foot Locker, you know, you have allocating teams who see your sales and what you're selling and what's moving. And if you're not pushing everything else, they're not just going to give you the cool drops so you can make your day or whatever. They're gonna like spread it out, you know what I mean? But if you're that store, that hot store that's selling a hat or a sticker or whatever the hell they give you, you're gonna be like, yo, like I'm gonna give that store whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, he makes a point.
And like we've like where me and Brian both work at American Dream, like it was to the point where we had, or our staff had, certain allocators and certain team members on standby where it's like, yo, like I know this is coming out, I know I'm allocated 100, give me 3. And they'd be like,
yeah,
bet. You know what I mean? Like also in the same token, Sonny, you know, if he understands as well, it's like the random restocks that we're getting, you know, like in the middle, you know, of the month, 6 months later, we're getting UNC dunks, or we're getting like a freaking size run of whatever Jordan 1 came out, or whatever like dunk came out in 6 months ago. It's not at a random. It's because like we're sought as, you know, that we can handle the other bullshit. So let me just reward you with shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I think when we worked there, we benefited from it because we were in a mall. Tourism was at its highest at the time. You know, it's a big attraction, especially if like you're from out of state. So mall stores were the ones that were getting the best allocation. Neighborhood stores were the ones that struggled, because I remember reading on the scanners when I would switch between whatever store or district I was, you know, looking for. Some stores would barely get anything. They'd get like 12, maybe 15 pairs at most of like whatever hot SKU was coming out. So goes to show you really how they, you know, the ones that get taken care of the most are the ones that are able to produce the most.
Yeah.
So it's really how it is sometimes. You know?
Nah, yeah. Unless you were like a new store that was already, you know, projected to be multi-million-dollar store, they, you know, your allocation was shit. I know people who can't even get fucking Tim's.
What are the annual numbers for like a store like in Menlo Park or American Dreams? Like, what's the difference? Like, what's the annual numbers? It has to be in the millions, but how many millions?
I mean, I don't know specifics, but I can tell you, I want to say, I'll just tell you what type of volume the store was. Like American Dream was like what, like a 10, 11 million dollar store, something like that. And then like right. Menlo was subpar. It was because it's a bigger store as well. They were probably like 9 or 10.
Yeah, it wasn't far off.
Something like let's say Passaic Foot Locker, or even like Hudson Mall Foot Locker is like a maybe $3 to $4 million store, you know what I mean? Something like a kid's Foot Locker would see. And it's because that area is like a dying, you know, area where
location was a big thing. For at least, well, for any company really, location was a big thing.
Of course.
No, but yeah, it would really depend on like what you're driving, what you're selling, and then like, you know, some stores became like the tester stores. When I worked at Newport, we were before American Dream was open, in this area, we were like the hot store on this side of the water. So like we opened up a women's shop. We were the tester store. So before like, like any kind of new SKUs would enter Foot Locker's space, we were one of the stores that was chosen to test that market, you know what I mean? And see if this is even a viable thing. So there's plenty of stuff that came in that was just like, before it even came out to everyone else, you know, it was only exclusively located there. And it wasn't even like hey, like we only have this. It was just on the shelf. And if you knew, you knew. Yeah. And because they wanted organic like results. They didn't want to like hype it up and then force, you know, traffic that way or whatever. But it was a good time.
Debatable, but
it was a good time on my side of the spectrum.
Yeah, well,
for those of you that don't know, that Brian was a seller. I worked the back stock room during overnight hours, where I would come in at 6 when everybody's already grumpy, and then I would leave at like 4 to 6 a.m. when everybody's sleeping. So
yeah, Leo got me out of the mud.
Literally.
Yeah. So if I have anyone to thank first, it's definitely Leo. But now that we've touched on a lot of things we wanted to talk about, I think it's time to introduce our guest, right?
Word.
Our guest today is a record-breaking artist. You might know him because he's collaborated with a lot of the people that you listen to. The one and only Nav. Nah, I'm kidding. This is our own sold out employee, Sonny. Sonny, tell us what you're all about.
My name is Sonny. Been working at Sold Out for a couple of years. Pretty much it.
What are you going on today?
Got lost and found ones.
Word.
Pants
Jeez.
from PacSun
Mm.
and a Hellstar tee that I bought from here.
Oof.
My fault. How much you buy that house store for? Let the people know, bro.
I think it was $250.
Lowest price in the state of New Jersey, I'll tell you
That's a
that.
damn lie. Because we don't sell Hellstar at $250.
All right,
Just kidding, guys. You paid $200.
there we are, $200.
Oh, yeah, 200.
Lowest price in the state of New Jersey.
What a liar.
Just to give you a backstory, that's how much money Sonny has. He doesn't remember prices.
No, but but Sonny's on today because I feel like there's an aspect of reselling that we don't really touch upon much. And Sonny is actually the one that plays a major role in it just because he's very well versed in that aspect of reselling, and it's botting. Sonny's had years of experience under his belt. And well, one of the main things I really wanted to ask him today was one, how'd you get into it, really?
I got into botting when, you guys remember when Pirate Blacks, the original pair, I don't know if it was a restock or if they dropped the remaining stock.
At
But-
Black Friday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
whatever it was. So that was when I first found out about Yeezys.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, the shoe looks cool. Let me try to get it. Like, you know, the hype behind it.
Mm.
Probably be like a popular kid in school and everything.
Word.
So I try to get it. I don't know anything about it. I'm waiting in line, get past the queue, try to check out. I took a L.
Mm.
Didn't get them. And then, you know, start going crazy. I'm like looking on YouTube and everything. I'm like, oh, how to cop Pirate Black Yeezys. And I look at videos, and then there was this one YouTuber. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name, but
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Is it Butterboy Nova?
no.
Jesus.
This was way back.
Nova?
Devin
I
Standish,
don't know
that
who
was
that
his
is.
name. So he had a couple of videos on how to cop manual and everything. And then, if any of you guys do bot, there was a bot back in the days called AIO bot.
Mm.
So, you know, long story short, like just watching a bunch of YouTube videos, that's how I got into like botting in general.
Hmm.
Word.
Were you working at Sold Out at the time?
No, at that time I was probably like 13 or 14.
Oof.
So what got you here?
It's a funny story. I think 2017 when right around when you guys first opened, I used to come to school after school over here every Friday at the old location, play the Keymaster, and never win. And every Friday I used to ask,
hold on. Yo, so you stole this kid's money?
Or stole it. So he played a game. And he lost.
spent hundreds on that machine, never won once.
So in return, he gave you employment?
Yeah, after 4 years.
You had to earn it.
Yeah, so I walked in every Friday, you know, annoy Tony, Dylan, some of the older stuff. I'm like, oh, you guys hiring? You know, they're always like, you know, brush me off. And then here we are, 2021. That's when I first started working here.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you put that in your resume? Pick me, I'm a botter.
It doesn't matter. Tony doesn't
Nah.
read them anyway.
Yeah.
But so when you said you first started botting in 2013, 2014?
That's not when I first started botting. That's like when I started getting knowledge about like how botting works and everything. I think my first drop was with the original Beluga Reflectives.
Mm.
Yeah.
2015.
Mm-hmm.
And how many
Word.
pairs did you cop on that drop?
0.
0.
Mhm.
So, I guess when was your first hit?
My first hit, Zebra Yeezys.
And how many pairs?
At that time, I got 1 pair. Lucky to get 1 pair.
So, I guess, what did you learn from, I guess, achieving 1 pair to when you've told me instances where you got hundreds of pairs?
So I think from in the beginning, I was just like, you know, I was like hungry just to get shoes. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna put in my credit card information, you know, start the bot, and then oh, I'm gonna get shoes instantly. But it wasn't like that. It's like, you know, there's like a bunch of stuff that goes behind botting that you have to know about as well. It's like proxies, tasks, stuff like that. Nothing that I knew in the beginning. It's like I just wanted to like get shoes. But the more I like watched YouTube videos, talked to people over Discord, Twitter, whatever it was, the more I found out, and that's how I got better at botting.
So, if you're like me,
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna ask you one thing.
Yeah.
What's a proxy?
Proxy, so if you think of it in like reselling terms, it's like think of like a proxy IP as like the middleman.
Mm.
So basically, like let's just say you're trying to buy Foot Locker, right? You use a proxy. That proxy is like the middleman. Like you connect the proxy to the website, and it kind of like masks your identification, if that makes sense.
So this is how you're able to check out multiple times because it thinks
Yes.
it's getting it from different locations.
Mm-hmm. So like you use multiple
Right.
proxies. Yeah.
How much, in terms of proxies, how much do you buy and what is the cost at? Because obviously, the buying your sneaker bot is one thing,
Mhm.
and then I know there's added investments on top of that
Yeah.
because you want the best proxies, whether it's right, DC is one of them, right?
DCs, yeah.
There we are. And then what's the other one?
Residentials.
Right. So which one did you prefer to use?
Well, I think we have to go back a little bit. So before like botting actually popped off, it was a little bit easier because like you didn't need the fastest proxies. You didn't need you don't need a lot of proxies either. Like you have like a good amount, let's just say 10, 15, maybe even 25. Like it'll get the job done. Like back then like Yeezys, they didn't drop so many pairs, for example.
Mhm.
So like hitting 1 or 2 pairs was a big thing. So it's like that was the type of stuff that I was aiming for. So it's like back then, like I'd buy like a 25 pack of proxies. I think it would cost like $50. I forget what the website was, but it would cost like $50. And then some drops I'd hit, some drops I won't. Like it's all about like how much stock they actually dropped, how
Right.
the website was doing, stuff like that.
So a lot of independent factors that go into just botting. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would you say that it was worth the investment at the time though?
Personally, I think it was worth the investment because like I did have many failures, but I did learn from those failures.
Mm.
So I feel like in that aspect, I felt like it was worth it.
I like that mentality.
Yeah.
With the failed proxies, were you able to reuse them at all?
No. Back
just
then, it was
clip?
like they'd expired in 24 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Wait, so you're saying it was easier to bot, but is that because botting was a lot more, the learning curve for botting wasn't as high as it is today? Or is it just because sites weren't worried about bots and there was just less bot protection?
I think it was a mix of both. So it's like, now you want to learn about botting, like you go on YouTube, there's like hundreds of videos on botting. Back then, like not a lot of people knew how to do it. Not a lot of people were sharing. There weren't many good bots out there. And then also back then too, it's like websites, they weren't too heavy on like bots. Cause remember at that time they still had like in-store releases, people were lining up.
Yeah.
It was like online jobs were like kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
Right.
If that makes sense.
So they didn't have like the security for
Exactly.
body
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Nowadays you have like they create like a separate URL for like that actual SKU or release.
It's something Union does that. I think they
Yeah,
did
Union will
past
ask
couple
you like
jobs,
what
yeah.
color is an orange.
Jown does that
Exactly.
too.
Like-
Huh?
Jown does it too.
Yeah.
They did it with most of the New Balances they dropped.
Yeah.
It's like different techniques they use. to-
Unfortunately, Union didn't realize that a lot of people didn't know what color an orange was. So I had a lot of people. I know a lot of people that were panicking on that question. They were like, "What? Oh, fuck! What is it? This is a trick question. God damn it! I lost."
Jeez. So obviously you come a long way when it comes to botting. You think it's changed from when you first started to now?
100%.
In a good way or a bad way?
I would have to go more towards the bad way.
Is it because there's like heightened security on the brand side, and you have to like pay for more shit to try
Yeah.
to break it?
So it's not even like the security that websites like implement these days.
Mhm.
It's like, before like the whole Kanye Adidas stuff ended, whatever, it's like the expenses were high and the profit wasn't there. So it's like, for some people, including me, like, certain jobs, I'd pay X amount for X stuff. And then after seeing how many pairs I got and how much I was selling them for and how much money I was making, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So it's like in terms of that, I feel like it was bad and it kind of declined a lot. Like you see sneakers right now, like, they drop. You'll be lucky to make like $15-20,
Yeah.
especially if you sell them online.
Oh, word. Yeah, and it's almost become to the point where like a raffle comes out, the shoe comes out, and by 3 o'clock it's on the wall.
Exactly.
So it's like, what is the point of body? If I could just come at 3.
So, which color was it of like the Adidas drop where you noticed that it wasn't worth it anymore?
I would say when they started restocking, I think it was Yeezy Day, the most recent Yeezy Day that we had. When they restocked, I think Wave Runners, Zebras, a bunch of shoes that they restocked. It's like prices tanked a lot.
Wait, so you're talking about
This
2023?
Past, yeah, this
Yeah,
past,
currently,
like, May.
yeah.
Wait, but so that's when you noticed it?
No, well, the big difference between like the Yeezy crash was like, remember when the blue tints dropped right after the Zebras? I think it was like 2017.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Zebras were going for like 1.8, 1.9. People were selling over 2,000, and then blue tints came out. I
Jeez.
think market was steady at like 4 or 500, something like that. I
Yeah.
think that was a point when I sort of got a hint. I'm like, I don't think this is gonna last as long.
Yeah,
Damn.
gotcha.
Even after that dude traded all his kicks to get a pair of Zebras. at
Exactly.
round 2, you didn't think it was viable.
Mm,
Damn.
Lord. So
Should've told him.
like in your peak botting, what are some numbers and some like SKUs that you achieved?
Blue tints, I secured like around 50 pairs at that time. That was when you had to like manually check out through Adidas. So it's like there was a bot, it was called Splash Force. So like, it'll do all the carding for you.
Mhm.
It'll send the card to like a Discord webhook. And then from there, you have to manually log into an Adidas account and try to check out as fast as you can. So what I had is like my mom, my dad, my brother, a bunch of friends just like typing in, trying to check out. So that I think that was one of my first biggest hits,
Mhm.
50 pairs. And then after that, it got more easier. Like, Nike botting was a thing for a little bit, like Rookie of the Years, Pine Green One, stuff like that. But I think the biggest, like top 3 drops I've had was the Mocha Jordan ones over
Jeez.
COVID. Raging Bull 5s, like it didn't resell for a lot, but like I had somebody that wanted them, so like Raging Bull 5s. And the third one I would say is probably Yeezy Slides.
Oh.
Yeah.
So before we get into the COVID era,
Mhm.
what I wanted to bring up was how did you go about getting shoes before you got into botting? Because obviously you had this sort of connection to sneakers. So
Mhm.
how did that come about before you even like went about sourcing?
Well, I never really like lined up in store, entered raffles, any of that. I was never a sneakerhead until I tried for the Pirate Blacks. Like even till this day, I don't think I'm a sneakerhead. I just like shoes.
Mhm.
So what got me into shoes was it was the Carmelo Jordans, the Concord Infrareds, the 1.5 is like black, purple, and orange colorway.
Yeah.
That was my first pair of Jordans ever.
That's
Wasn't-
such an
yeah.
obscure shoe. That like the fact that you remember it is like says a lot, because it's like
Man,
yeah,
smart.
yeah,
Mhm.
my boy got a connection. That's how it starts.
Yeah, it was my first pair. Beat those up playing basketball or whatever. And then when I really got into it was probably like Pirate Blacks. Like I got straight into botting. I didn't really do like the lining up in the store, entering raffles, any of that.
Gotcha.
So when you mentioned the whole Yeezy Day stuff and like you getting X amount of pairs of blue tints and zebras, was this before the Confirmed app? Because Confirmed wasn't always a thing either.
No, confirmed. So confirmed app, it was like you had to click on those pictures that they were
Yes.
dropping. I remember like sometimes Yeezy Mafia
Yeah.
would drop those pictures. And back then, like I would physically we'd go to New York City because we didn't know what like spoofing locations was. Like we didn't know that was a thing back then.
Oh, you didn't use iTools?
Yeah, I didn't really know about that back then. So we'd physically go to New York, and even then you don't have 100% chance of hitting off of confirmed.
Right.
Yeah.
So mostly what it was through Adidas,
Mm.
Adidas.com.
Right,
yeah.
because they used to do the drop on Yeezy and then on Adidas.com.
Yeah, Yeezy's
Yeah. Right.
supplying Adidas. Yeah.
Word.
Jeez.
So how many mochas did you end up getting?
Rough estimate like around 300 pairs.
Jesus Christ. What'd you sell them at?
It was to a bulk buyer.
Word.
God.
And
I could just imagine what they paid for that.
Yeah, no, and I didn't sell them right away. I had them sitting for a while. I remember I had a conversation with Tony. I was supposed to bring it into the old store, but that never ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I held on to them for a while before I sold them.
What? Go ahead, my bad.
Now, I mean, I was following like what a lot of people were saying online. Oh, like the shoe's gonna go up over like 600-700. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I have this many pairs. Why not just hold on to them?
Nah, word.
That's
Yep.
good.
Word.
That's good.
Well then, so storing it. So there's more. So you storing it actually tells me that there's more expenses.
Yes.
So how much was like a storage unit? Where did you have to send it to? It's like what other expenses on top of botting are there?
So you had to renew these bots. Like, it wasn't like a one-time purchase thing.
It's like every year. right?
Yeah, it's like every year, every 6 months, or every couple months, depending on, like, what bot you had. Like, you had to renew that. Proxies you had to renew. At one point, you had to buy like Gmails. So Gmails was a one-time thing, and then like there were these softwares, like how like that Google verification, like you click on the pictures, the
Mhm.
captchas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there was like services, like for example, I think it was called AYCD. You had to pay for that. I think it was like $30 or $40 a month. So it's like a lot of monthly cost. And like, if you're storing it somewhere, like for example, I had like a cubicle, like like a public storage area.
Mhm.
So it's like, however big your cubicle was, like you had to pay rent for that. So it was like a lot of like other expenses that went behind it.
Mm.
Gotcha. At any point while you were botting and working at Sold Out, did you decide to maybe consign some of the botting that you couldn't sell off to a bulk buyer at the time, or you just figured I'll just hold it?
So when I first started working here, I didn't really sell to bulk buyers. I consigned everything here.
Mm.
Every single like I never got into like Nike botting like that. I was mainly like easy botting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was the easiest.
Yeah, that's
And-
before they got Foot Locker was pretty easy too.
Yeah.
Before they did Data Dome. I remember.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the easiest and it was like the cheapest behind cost. So it was like, any easy I bring everything over here, consign over here, and just
Word.
move it that way.
Nice. Nice.
So I know you brought up COVID
hmm
earlier. Was botting even viable during that time? Because stores are closed, and then every release that was projected to come out got halted.
hmm
So it's like, what was COVID like for you, and what were you doing during COVID?
During COVID, it was one of the best times to resell.
The
and bot,
pandemic.
yeah.
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 The
One of the best times.
pandemic.
All like you said, all stores were closed. They weren't dropping anything in stores, so all the stock was online.
Right.
Every single shoe was online. People were touching like hundreds and hundreds of pairs. I think COVID times was like the best times to like probably get into botting and probably the most profitable too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. That's when I got into botting.
Like I would say like right when we went into lockdown up until like the end of 2021, I feel like those year or two was the best for
No.
botting.
Word.
Was
I
it
mean-
always just shoes though?
What do you mean?
I know people during COVID. Well, personally, during COVID, I was flipping like pools or like hardware or like stuff like that you could use at home. So it's like I know that like a lot of the botting community wasn't just focused on shoes either.
hmm
They were going after literally air conditioning units.
Yeah,
Space heaters.
Yeah.
Walmart, everything. Yeah.
Generators.
Yeah,
Anything.
anything they could get their hands on, that's what they were like trying to get. And PS5s even became like
Oh.
lucrative. So it's
PS5s
like-
were good. I think besides shoes, PS5s was like one of the biggest things, and graphics cards too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I
Graphics
can't
remember
cards
that,
were
I
a
can't
big
tell for a
thing.
graphics card. I'm not even gonna lie.
But I didn't really get into like swimming pools, pool heaters, stuff like that. I didn't really get into it. It was mainly just like PS5s, graphics cards, and like sneakers in general.
Word.
Any other? I know what else was popular during COVID? NFTs. Were you into that?
NFTs.
Mm.
I wish that was the one thing that I got into more. It's
Do
like
you now?
Wait, even now?
Do
no,
you?
not now. Like back then, definitely.
I'm like, why?
No, it's because I remember me and you had a conversation. It was like, what is this? Like, how does it work? How are people making money off of this?
I still don't understand it. And now that it tanked, I don't care.
Yeah, I never understood it till this day either.
Hey, yo, just take a screenshot of the picture. You technically own it, right?
If I buy a piece of art, I want to hang it up. I don't want something.
A chain code.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Like what blockchain?
Blockchain.
all
Oh,
that, like,
blockchain.
blah-
Yes,
Blockchain.
Yeah,
yes,
it's like
yes,
so
yes.
all. I don't know what blockchain means.
Technically, you could have hang it up. They were selling a frame where you could.
You know what? I don't care.
No, but I get what you're saying. It's something physical as opposed to something that like
So
You know.
to me, like where NFTs are at now, and where it was, I feel like it was just a huge scam, or people were just really bored because people bought.
Bored apes.
Justin Bieber bought yeah, I guess a Bored Ape or whatever ape at like 1.6, 1.8 million or whatever, and now it's worth like $60,000.
Well, you know what's crazy? During that time, people had two things that they never had before, and that was time and money.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you were getting PPE loans or whatever the hell it was, you had the time to just be at home and scroll through the internet, like to buy whatever the hell it was. And it's like, that's where a lot of these, like, you know, new age sneakerheads come from too, you know?
It's like, so for example, with the market, there was that most recent article where the Grammy Yeezy 2s sold for 1.8 million 2021 during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what it sell for?
60.
Like 60,000.
Mm-hmm.
So,
60 bands.
Oh, yes, you sent that in the group chat.
but
Yeah.
but just in general, it's like even
But that's an absurd
even
loss.
like the person selling it.
Nah, it was,
It's like
it
you
was
should
like,
know that this market
that's
is nowhere near the same as
Yeah.
what it was.
the problem was that it wasn't like an individual. It was like a fucking
it was a group, right?
It was a group that all they do is like buy bullshit and
buy
resell it.
collectibles and resell
wait,
it.
so who bought it? So what was the company that bought it, or whoever?
I don't know the
group
name
bought
of the company, but it's like pretty much a company who all they do is just buy shit on auction and then resell it
Yeah.
years later for profit.
it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the Grammy Air Yeezy 2s, all black leather.
Hmm.
The original owners, well, I know that one of the original owners may have been Rare Pair.
I think so. Yeah.
It's like, because I'm almost positive
did he
that I've
post
seen it. I'm almost positive I've seen it on the website for like $20,000 at
Yeah.
one point. So
Jeez.
did someone buy it off them?
I think so, or they took it to auction.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the most
One
likely.
of two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's one hell of a hold.
No,
Ah,
but
yeah.
in the same vein, it's like that the airship that Michael Jordan wore and
Yes.
like I think signed,
Yeah.
same thing. You know,
Yeah.
that sold for millions of dollars, and you know, I don't even think they broke even.
Oh no, they
no, it sold for
they
like
lost.
200 something.
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
But this, what did it originally go for?
I don't remember, but I know it was in the millions, and I don't even think it.
No, I think it was like 1.2. It was like 1.2, and it sold for like just under half,
See, but
or
like,
or like 200 or whatever. But
Yeah.
that also tells you, you know how everybody was saying that Yeezy jumped over Jumpman. Well, just in general.
Well, technically, an airship is not a Jordan.
But it has an autograph on it, so that's all that matters.
Hey, man, Jordan wore number 12. It doesn't mean that everybody's running around here.
you
with a
you wouldn't
fucking-
consider that a Jordan?
No, it's a
I don't
Nike.
know where I would stand
It's a
on that.
Nike.
I don't
I
think
get
I
what
would,
you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but it's like Jordan wore it,
Okay,
and that was a shoe that was
Jordan wore Chucks.
technically that's the real shoe that got banned. You know, and it was never the
Jordan wore Chuck Taylors in high school.
those that they didn't make a whole ad campaign.
They didn't make. He didn't wear a Laney 5 in high school.
We know that, but that colorway pays homage to Laney
Mm.
High School. That's a discussion for another day.
Listen, man, just because somebody wore something doesn't mean it's theirs. Are these yours?
No, but
They're not yours. Would you steal them? Jesus
no,
Christ!
these are mine. I didn't make them, but
Well,
said-
to me, when I see the Balenciaga arenas, the first thing I think of is Kanye, even though it's not his.
Yeah,
And then also on top of that,
Ultra Boost, the original
Ultra
color.
Boost,
Yeah.
the
That's
all black
great.
with the purple heel tab. Blah,
I
blah.
mean,
oh my
In-
god, yes,
Yeah.
I remember
in
that.
the same vein, Kanye fucking made Jordan 1s relevant again. Do you go back and say, "Well, that's a Kanye Jordan"?
no,
No.
that's true.
No, I
But, like-
think he's whatever now.
Kanye's worn like Jordans, like but he's worn multiple Jordans. I know there's that
I
picture of him
understand
with
that.
the infrared 6.
Yeah,
That's the one that like is burned into my mind.
But every color that he did touch and put on his feet did skyrocket.
exactly. But no
But
one.
he has some crazy influence.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that- you
yeah.
can't take that
So-
away from that man.
So 21 Mercer. I remember I walked in one day just randomly. I was in Soho.
Rest in
you know.
peace, Tony Romanescu.
So I walked in. You know what I see? Independence Day Air Max 90s.
Mm.
Sitting there.
Bro, that was such a
Mm.
bullshit
I
shoe,
think
bro.
3-4 days later, paparazzi caught him. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
You-
Gone.
It's the-
Skyrockets
yeah, it was
like
the-
triples.
He was like the precursor to Travis.
Bro, there wasn't anything crazy about that shoe. It just had the American flag on.
Nah, bro. Kanye wore that shoe.
Nah,
that shit is
no,
nuts, bro.
Nah,
Guys-
man, it's like not the
Fuck.
red version were the red Octobers.
You know what I mean, bro? There were the
guys
solar
remember-
reds, bro.
You guys remember there was this one photo going around? I think he was wearing like all white Ultra Boost. I
Oh,
think
where he's like jumping up in the air during
some-
a performance.
something like that, yeah. And
Yes.
then Ultra Boost and NMDs, some of them
Skyrocketed.
skyrocketed.
I know.
Were you
a lot of
Were you
them.
botting NMDs?
I wouldn't say I was botting. I was just like going for them here and there, but it's like I wouldn't say botting.
So Kanye helped me open up Jersey City because I had a plug. It was like a person that had an Adidas account. He was making his bread off my order.
Mm.
He had a school account where he like gets schools cleats, equipment, all this other stuff. But in general, it's like he gave me his login, and within the login, he's like, "Oh yeah, you can get whatever's on the site." I logged in every day, and basically,
Every day is nuts.
well, it helped because so every day, and finally, Ultra Boost popped up,
Oh,
400 pairs of white on white,
Hey, yo.
and I'm like, "All right, how am I going to afford all this? I can't afford all 400." Even at wholesale, I couldn't afford it
Mhm.
because what? So
what was wholesale at? If you don't mind me asking.
So I think he made like 5% on top. So I paid, so it's half. So he made 5. So like 55%.
Well, he just gave you his wholesale, like not even like reselling it to you.
No, but he
just
I
like
think it was more.
he was profiting off of him.
Yeah.
using the wholesale
I
account.
got you.
So every pair he bought
I
was
got you.
So
Yeah.
added
so,
up.
so basically, I'm like, screw it. It's like I emptied out my bank account. I borrowed money from my parents. I bought 200 pairs.
Mm.
I should have probably bought all 400,
all 400.
but it was too much of a risk. It's like
Yeah.
it's like what happens if it fails? It's like,
Nah,
I-
word.
That's crazy though. That like they put that shoe on a wholesale account for like a school.
No, but it's crazy because so at that point in time, I think everybody was trying to sell the white and white Ultra Boost for $250 to $300.
Mhm.
I was on Facebook. I was on all these groups, et cetera, et cetera. It's like everywhere, anywhere I could post it because I had to get my money back ASAP.
Nah,
Yeah.
word.
And basically, everybody who contacted me is like, I'll give you 180. I'm like, no. It's like I'm
Was-
undercutting everybody
Wasn't
by
that retail though? Was it 180 retail?
no. I think it was like 200, or maybe it was 180, and I priced it at 200.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's like, no, I'll give you retail because I see so many pairs. I'm like, I don't care how many pairs you see. It's like I'm undercutting literally
word.
every. It's like no one's gonna
I
take
never
$20
your
profit.
price.
From
Prices,
day
yeah.
one, bro, we had the lowest prices.
listen,
Yeah.
man. I never understand that concept. Like even to this day, somebody walks in and it's like, yo, bro. If I buy 5 pairs instead of 1, you want to give me a discount? Nigga, what? No. If you buy 1 pair, there's 5 people coming in after you to buy those other pairs.
No, so that was one of the things that people asked me. It's like, oh yeah, how about I buy multiple? I'm like, you get them at $200 each.
That's crazy, bro. It's 200
Yeah,
each.
it's like, bro.
So it's like I'm already giving you a deal. It's like you could try to find this anywhere else. It's like he's like, oh, why are you selling for so cheap? I'm like,
don't worry
well, you
about it.
want no, I-
Don't
I-
worry
no,
about it.
No, I
Don't
tell
worry about it,
no,
sweetheart.
That's the
no, I
last
tell
thing you
him
want
straight
to
up. I'm like, at wholesale account, and I got them all at $100. You want them or not?
Mm.
But some of them were like, they came from New York and Philadelphia. That's how popular these were. They came to Bumblefuck Highland Park, New Jersey to buy these, and they're out there like, oh, you mind if I legit check it? I'm like,
I'll go fuck with you.
I was
bro.
like, you can have a seat on the couch. You can sit here, yo.
You want a drink?
Yo, your Wolf of Wall Street's on TV. you can watch that. I don't care.
Yo, Wex, you want to come out here?
Yeah. So
Wait,
So-
so did you sell them all together or
no, one by one because I did not care.
He's not a
And
bulk seller,
Brick
my
by
boy.
brick. That's how you
No.
build a house.
It's like I was the cheapest out there. No one's gonna be. It's like whoever wanted to buy bulk, you can buy 1, you can buy 20, you can buy
Yeah,
30,
you're still winning.
all $200 a pop because I know you're coming to me because
you have no other choice.
no because you're like, what the f.
Yeah.
There were so many people who was like, yeah, I'll give you 180. I'm like, no. 3 days later, they'd be like, you still have it? I'm like, matter of fact, I have like 5 other pairs. Well, yo, what's good? Or they'll come back like 10 days later, like, no, I'm sold out. I have the size below and the size above. It's like, so you want or not? Because it's all going to go quick. It's all going to sell at some point. It's all up to you.
Nah,
It's like-
word.
I wasn't trying to hide anything. It's like, if you wanted to know how I got them, I told you straight up. If you wanted to legit check it, I gave you all the time in the world. From open to closed. You could send as many pictures to whoever you want. Go on any forums you want. Check it. You know, every single person bought it. and that bankroll helping me move the store to Jersey City.
Mm.
Jeez. And then that's how you came about. A
Look at
couple
that.
years later.
Yeah, and then 4 years later, that's how Sonny came.
Yeah.
But
and then he made all his money back when Sonny lost every time at that Keymaster.
But he also made me lose.
Uh-oh.
oh, wait. Before we get into
Are we
that,
speaking on it?
Before we get-
Are we
wait,
speaking-
wait.
are we speaking on it?
Alright,
wait,
we're
before,
speaking
wait,
on it.
save it.
Alright.
Because before you get into that, I know you're very savvy with technology too. So, did you come up with your own sneaker bot too?
Well, I wouldn't say I made my own bot. There's a lot that goes behind, making bots. Like you gotta have like that coding knowledge up there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say I had like decent scripts that gave me like advantage if you're talking about like time in terms of checkouts.
Like the what's that Thunderbolt add-on that lets you like?
Like auto checkout.
Yeah.
It wasn't so. I wouldn't. It was basically like something like that. It was like autofill. Like I made a generic script for autofill. Used it mainly for Supreme. Like box logos used to do good stuff like that.
Did you profit off it, or you just use it for personal use?
Just personal. I didn't really sell it
Mm.
because it's like if you sell it, other people using it, their private information's on there, so you got to find a way to make that secure. I didn't know about everything back then.
So this was just something you did on your own time.
Yeah, it was like a hustle for me basically.
Mm.
Word.
Is this how you lost Tony money though?
Nah, that's a whole different conversation.
Well, let's get into that now.
All right.
So, was there a point in time where I specifically asked you not to get an item, and instead you got me like 8 pairs?
Yes, this happened like 5 times. No, I'm kidding.
I don't remember that.
I know you remember it because it still haunts me to
He's
this day. It's
choosing
like,
not
Yeah.
to
It's like-
remember.
it's like I could go downstairs and remind you real quick because it's
Think-
still here.
It's lightning for grade schools. You told me to get just men's pairs.
What size was it?
Like 3.5. Wait, these are 3.5s and
4Y,
4s.
No,
4Y.
just
4Y. It was
Just
all
4Y,
4Ys.
4Y, 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 4Y.
Bro, you know what's crazy?
4Y.
When I was at Foot Locker, that was like 3.5 and 4 was the only size that were sitting. So I'd be like, yo, I got something in the bag for you, bro. Like, if you want to take it or leave it.
So, long story short, what happened was like there was we're going for a restock
Yes, a restock.
on Lightning Force. I think it was through Foot Locker. Well, Foot Size in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I was setting up, my stuff for men's pairs. I had grade school set up just in case he wanted them because he didn't respond to my text by then. Anyways, he responds to my text. He's like, "Oh, just go
It's a
for
damn
men's."
lie.
It's your fault.
He's like, "Just go
Nope,
for."
nope. I told him specifically, even prior to the first release, do not touch grade school sizes.
He might have. I probably slipped my whatever. I had it ready because along with him, I was also buying too for
Mhm.
myself.
So why didn't you take the 4Ys?
It's different. That's what we don't talk about that. Anyways, so I was setting up. I had my task set up and the store's stuff set up. So I think what had happened was because I was in a rush or something like that.
He sent the text too late.
Yeah, no, not about that. So the payment method that we were using, which we're gonna cover later on, the payment method that we were using in his men's, while making tasks for men's sizes,
Mm-hmm.
I think I copied and pasted the SKU wrong from the Full Locker website, and I think I
Yeah.
added a couple that had grade school in it.
Not a couple 8 pairs.
Specifically size 4s.
Listen, at that point, during the restock, I'm like, the box are like 30, 40 pairs. I'm like, oh, Tony's going to be happy today. Like, I'm about to
Yeah.
get a raise at work.
Wait, you
Oof.
thought this was men's pairs when you saw the 20
Yeah, and then
30?
the cha-ching started coming in, and then I look at this, I'm like, oh, shit. This is grade school. And then as soon as I could, I stopped the bot, shut down my computer, everything.
What the fuck?
And then I go into work later that day, and I break the news to him, like,
Yo, you just bought 30
Don't-
grades.
don't get mad, but I think we got like 8 to 10 pairs of grade school pairs.
Wait, you think or you knew?
Damn.
So he wanted to break the news to me, but yeah, we got like 8 to 10 pairs of grade school. And I was like, so how many men's? 0.
My boy.
Well
Look,
done.
you win some, you lose some.
Wait,
No,
wait,
no,
What,
no.
when
And
was
that
this?
was my personal fuck up.
When was
When was this? It was at the old store.
I
I
don't
would
want
assume so.
I don't want to remember.
Yeah, don't. Make
When,
Wait, did you-
When Lightning come out?
That was like 2 years ago.
No, it was at the old store.
I was still working at Foot Locker when that shoe came out.
Yeah, you should have just hit us up, bro.
Yeah, bro. You should have just been
Mhm.
like,
I didn't know you guys.
Yeah, yeah. If I want it for a while, I could just walk into the store.
yeah, I would have not.
I would have
Oh,
shipped it
oh,
to
I
you.
would have told Tony, I was like, yo, I got
Oh,
something for you in the bag,
and,
bro.
And I paid shipping.
But the good part,
Wait, you paid shipping on foot sites?
Yeah.
You didn't VIP
Yo,
account
wait,
that
that's
bitch?
that's free shipping with FLX, bro.
how you
FLX
know?
didn't exist. VIP
No, yeah,
account,
it
my
did.
boy.
It did.
For Lightnings?
Like, bro, I swear to God, I was signing people up left and right for an FLX.
But
Oh,
that's
I
if
don't
that's if you were you using accounts. You didn't manually, but you're going for initial release or restock. It's gonna go like this.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're signing in as guest.
Yeah, you're
so you can
basically
go
checking out
faster.
because you don't have
Yeah.
time to sign in,
Yeah.
add the shoe to cart. Like
You're
by
wasting
that,
time,
yeah, you're
yeah.
wasting
My fault, bro.
time.
You're already-
Shoot, it's gonna fly.
By
I
then,
wish he would have wasted more time.
By then, you would have not got those 8 pairs.
But good thing it was 10 pairs.
Oh, it's 10 pairs.
Out of 10 pairs, we
Oh,
sold.
sorry.
Out of 10 pairs, we sold 4.
Word.
That's a good thing.
No, word.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
Four pairs that I broke even on years later.
I think I sold 3 out of the 4 pairs this year. Back to school.
Hey, man, yo, if you would have came to Foot Locker and been like, yo, I got something for you in the back, bro, it would have been a 3.5 or a 4, Lightning 4.
Did you know that Foot Locker accepts returns?
Yeah, bro, I would have just been like, yo, I got this as a gift. And you got on your social
That's
credit.
well, we're gonna get into that. Why
Only
we
be-
didn't
only
return
because,
the pairs.
Since we paid for shipping, it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to break even in the long run. I'm still waiting.
Hmm.
Nah, man, you should have just been like, yo, Brian, I got to take this back, bro. I just got this as a gift and I don't want it. It was like, slide me a 20, mister, and I'll give you store credit.
I mean, respectfully.
Simple as that.
Merchandise card.
What? Even like the shipping?
I wouldn't have known you guys shipped. You could have just been like, I got it as a gift.
Yeah, but they would have ate the shipping.
Yeah,
was
we said
his
what
point.
ate the shipping.
Because
Oh.
Foot Locker doesn't refund shipping.
My fault,
they
bro.
Don't. They don't.
You know who also doesn't refund shipping? Sonny.
Still mad at me till this day.
Hmm.
And then
couldn't tell.
and then there's also something else that we're still trying to
Figure
get rid
out.
of years later.
Wait,
Oh.
wait, years later?
Yeah.
A year later, a year and a half later.
A year.
Is it a year and a half? I think
Yeah.
it's longer than that because
Because I
so
started.
when did the Lightnings come out?
it was some because we moved here
16?
2022,
This two
right?
came out in May.
No,
No,
2 years ago.
Oh, 2
Yeah,
years
2
ago.
years,
Yeah, 21, I
Yeah,
think.
so
21.
yeah, so it's plural years.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
So there was a
Is this-
specific way to check out of these foot sites faster.
Yeah, I remember.
So we ran around.
hmm
We got a bunch of gift cards because that's how you check out faster.
You come to
No, it
American
wasn't.
Dream?
It wasn't really checkout fast. All right, let me go.
Digital.
Let's go back a little bit.
Oh,
So anytime you order from Foot Locker, whether you bought it or you tried manually, they had something called PVs, payment verifications.
Hmm.
So it's like whether you checked out 1 pair, they were gonna cancel it. Whether you checked out 5 out of 5 pairs, you'll cancel all 5, or maybe cancel 4, let you keep 1. So back then, Foot Locker, like foot site botting in general, it's like you had to do a lot of tweaking with the addresses. Remember times where I used to buy hundreds of Gmails from
Just
random
miss-
websites for 10, 15 cents each, whatever the
Yeah.
price was, just to make sure each checkout profile, all the information was unique, using fake John Doe or Tony Patel, any
Mhm.
random names that would come to mind, no phone numbers and everything. And credit cards is
privacy card, right?
no, we didn't use privacy. We had something else. We used we generated multiple credit cards. That's how.
I believe it's like a virtual credit card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's even then it's people say there's a way, but I don't think that's true. There was never really a way to combat cancellations through Foot Lockers, but somebody figured out something, and it had to do with gift cards. So I believe the way it worked is when you buy a gift card, whether you get it from Foot Locker or let's just say,
Champs,
East
Foot
Bay.
Action.
Yeah.
wherever you get a gift
They
card
work
from.
amongst all those foot sites.
Yeah, it works
So-
with you get a Foot Locker gift card. It'll work for all
East
4 or
Bay or
5 different
anywhere else,
sites. Yeah. So what I think it was is that you buy a gift card, it's a trusted form of payment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they
So-
wouldn't question it.
They wouldn't question it, so people were checking out with gift cards. No cancellations, people were hitting 100 clips or whatever. Every single pair would ship, and at that point, you could ship all the pairs to one address. It's not like you had to use 10 or 15 different addresses. So when I found out, I was a little bit late because not a lot of people were sharing because people want stuff to
Yeah,
themselves.
it was stuff that you
Yeah.
gate kept. Yeah.
So when I found out was the same time that I told them, but I didn't tell them initially because I didn't know if it worked or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I did was I tested it. The drop that I tested it with, I think it was Raging Bull 5s, the all red ones.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I tested it. I think I had bought like 2 or 3K worth of gift cards to test it out, and then the rest was on credit cards. Most of the credit card orders got canceled. The gift card orders, they all stuck. So I told Tone, I'm like, we have to get gift cards. And then I got gift cards for myself. They got gift cards for the store. And then we had like, certain releases, like, Foot Locker was on and off. It's like some site, like certain drops, like the site would crash. Like, you won't check out like 30,
Too much
40
traffic.
too much traffic. There was a lot that went into it. It's like,
Yeah.
Certain drops we had success, certain drops we didn't have success, whatever it was. Until it came time when you started getting payment verifications on gift cards as well. They started canceling orders with gift cards. So like, you check out with a gift card. If they canceled your order, you wouldn't get refunded on the same gift card. They would email you a brand new gift card. So let's just say your order total was, I don't know, $149.99, right? They would email you a brand new gift card that had the same exact amount on it.
But you would get, so the one that you had was already voided.
It wasn't, let's just say you filled out like $100, right? You used it. That one's done. You would get a brand new gift card. But let's just say you had 500 on the original gift card, whatever your cost was,
Uh-huh.
like minus that remaining amount would stay on the original, and then the canceled order would get issued a new gift card through email.
Yeah.
And certain times I would see this, like even with mine and the stores, I don't know what it was. If the order got canceled, like we had like 50 cancellations at one point, but we only had like 48 emails of new gift cards. So I don't know what wrong with that till this day. Like, we're trying to figure out the real reason.
I know payment gets canceled mostly
Mhm.
because it's two-factor authentication on cards most of the time. So it's like your bank is always going to text you like, hey, were you trying to make this purchase?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you check out too fast, obviously it's a fucking issue. So it's like, I remember when I was doing that stuff too, I used my own cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always have a text. It's like, did you try to make this purchase? And then it wouldn't clear because, even after you confirmed it, out of stock.
Yeah, so I think with Footsize in general, I don't think it was a credit card issue. I think it was more of their website. I don't know if they were overselling or what it was, but no matter what you did, like, you've checked out like an X amount of pairs, you'd always get cancellations.
Mhm.
Like there was a point, like for example, the store's address, 366 Central Avenue, right? There were times when I was like tweaking the address out,
366 Central Avenue, apartment 1, apartment
stuff
2.
like that. Like
Back
for
door,
example,
front door,
Back door.
side door.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Central Avenue, I would put 2 C's. For the next one, I would put 2 E's. For the third one, 2 N's. Like just random stuff I could come up with.
Yeah, that was the jig. I remember.
Yeah,
So-
the thing that helped the most was USPS. If you go on USPS, they have this, I forget what it's called, but like formats, like, suite, the abbreviation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like a
Apartment, the
yeah.
abbreviation. So like, I looked at like docks, suites, apartments, rooms, floors, and just abbreviated, like, off of like, let's just say I had 10 addresses, use 5 jigged addresses. So there's 50 right there. 50 unique addresses in
Right.
a way.
Whereas the other part you're not seeing is one, if I can put a timestamp to it,
hmm
you started buying that gift card stuff when Foot Locker went from VIP to FLX.
It was a
So-
little bit before. I think it was like 6-7 months right after. I think
Yeah.
it was.
wait, what year was it?
This was I think all 2021.
Yeah. So like
When did
right
FLX get introduced?
around that time frame.
So them transitioning to FLX made the
the process that much harder, and
Because you
that-
needed a unique phone number, a unique
yeah,
email.
like there was more to it as
Yeah.
far as like your account was. On top of that, the other thing you're not seeing on the Foot Locker side of it, you're not getting these, whatever the hell, these items from warehouse. Majority of it is coming. It's what's called a stock locator,
Yeah.
and it goes to individual stores, and then those stores, based on the allocation in their inventory, they would have the items available. So then they have to physically pull that from their stock room
Right.
and then process the order. If any of anything that you were doing was what's considered a hot SKU,
Mhm.
they would cancel your order, right? Because back then you didn't get the sale, like your store didn't get the sale if if I stock located Reimagine 3,
Yeah.
it would go to the .com.
Yeah.
So you would lose that sale essentially. So motherfuckers would literally
Cancel
absolutely cancel any release date shoe, any hot SKU. It could have been a white Air Force. If it's something that's going to sell in the store, they literally would cancel it.
Yeah. No, I think this is a little bit different. If I'm not wrong, we'll put the timestamps up here,
Mhm.
whatever. But with online, it's like, you check out at 10:01. Let's just say 10:01, 30 seconds. You
Mhm.
get a cancel email at 10:01, 32 seconds.
Mm.
It was instant. It
But
wasn't like.
that was usually like factory or whatever stock was already loaded up on back
Yeah,
end.
and I did
Yeah.
notice most of the
Right.
orders they shipped from, I think it was Kansas City.
Yeah, that's where
Nah.
one of the warehouses is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the shit. What I'm trying to tell you, like every single label that comes out,
Mhm.
it doesn't say like Newport Center, Foot Locker. It's gonna say the distribution center. So it's gonna they pretty much like use a workhorse. They don't
Mhm.
have like, for my understanding, they don't have like a warehouse department that like does online orders, and then they have stores. Like the store's staff does the online orders, and it literally gets divvied based on what that store's inventory allocation is. So like, again, like if it was a hot SKU, it could have been a foam posit, whatever the hell was selling at that time. They would like cancel the order.
Yeah.
But the part that threw me off the most was I did experiments with myself and for the store.
Mhm.
This was this was all the drops, but specifically I did this on playoff 12s. I think you said to get on like 30, 40 pairs, whatever it was. So I did what I did for the
Mhm.
store and myself. I checked out for the store using gift cards. 30 out of 30 pairs, all shipped. And I did a second batch for the store with credit cards. Those credit cards pairs got canceled, but
Mm.
every single pair from the gift card is shipped. Same thing with mine. Gift card pairs, all shipped. Credit card pairs, most 99% cancel.
Yeah. I don't know,
So
it's fine.
that's the thing that throws me off the most.
I think Data Dome, when they switched over to Data Dome, and I
Uh-huh.
think that was around that same time period. I think what happened was a lot of the foot sites had like I know they were also testing out methods of bot protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was never like consistent among all releases. I know for specific releases, bot protection was either stronger or like you just couldn't get through it all.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some, it was just like, yeah, fuck it, have a field day,
Yeah.
like. So it was really just a matter of like them testing the waters of what was efficient and what wasn't working.
That was the time when bots started introducing bypasses right around the data dome time.
Right. Because I remember that was like a big lucrative thing because once Data Dome got introduced,
Yeah.
everyone was working for a way around it
Exactly.
because no one knew the exact formula or what to do because it became so hard to like, you couldn't guarantee success anymore.
That's true.
So a lot of the bots, that's when a lot of bots tanked too. I remember Phantom at one time was doing like,
Oh, it was hitting. I remember this was before I started working at Sold Out. Travis Scott Jordan 4s,
Mhm.
the blue ones.
Yeah.
Phantom. People were like, you had to buy Nike accounts, proxies,
but
whatever.
at one point in time it was like worth like $2,000.
Exactly. There was a lot of bots.
Yeah.
For example, Cyber. When I high
Yeah.
as like there was a bid for it, people were paying $10,000 for a bot. It ranged from like 6 to 10, whatever it was. Like people were paying
People
for
were
bots.
paying that
yeah.
much for bots, yeah.
And that was right during COVID.
Yeah. That was
Right,
its
like
peak.
2021 to end of 2022.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well,
But-
sorry, 2020 to end of 2021.
Yeah, and I remember the in-store jig was like, and this is something I found out through a friend of mine that when I was doing Discord work,
Yeah.
you would come with the SKU of the shoe already, and you'd print the label out, and you could see if you could order it in store. So how Leo was saying, how
Who'd you find out that from?
I forgot, I can't say their name, bro, because
could-
they're still heavy in this Discord stuff. So
I can
I
tell
don't
you who
wanna-
the name was.
No.
I found that out myself, and I would print the SKU out, and I would literally just like check.
yeah, I couldn't do it myself, so I'd call my brother and I'd be like, "Yo, get over here! Like we're about to ship like 20 pairs of dunks to the house."
Yeah.
So I'd have him check out with me, and this is how I was stat padding too, bro. Like, because this would get your sales up. So I'd have them all shipped to the house with different FLX accounts, and then either some got canceled or some actually went through.
Mhm.
It was also, like Leo said, it was dependent on from where it was coming from. If it came from the warehouse or or a factory, more likely than not, it was gonna get pushed through. But if it was from like a store, like Garden State or like Willowbrook, that was getting canceled like off rip.
Yeah.
So it was just a gamble of whether or not you'd get those pairs or not.
Those would really work on any like dunk or stuff that didn't really have a release date. It was just like it just came out. Like those like hot SKUs.
And it was
were
just
the
up in
ones-
the air because
Yeah, those-
corporate wouldn't give us when to put them out.
Well, it's not even that they wouldn't know. It's literally like you would like almost like cheat the system in a way because you'd have the SKU. You kind of already know like this doesn't have a release date. Let me check it. And then that's when you know like let me just unload. You know what I mean? Just do your thing. So are you still botting to this day?
I am not. Over and done.
Retired?
Yes.
You
Would
got that Lambo now, so I guess.
Would you,
that's a-
would you say it's oversaturated or there's too much or
I would say it's oversaturated. In my personal opinion, I don't think botting is a thing anymore. Like,
I was just gonna ask you that. Do you
yeah, I
still
don't think it's a thing
viable?
anymore. It's like it's oversaturated. Like, you know, if you go into if you go into detail, there's a lot of stuff. Like, for example, like a website's releasing 8,000 pairs.
Mhm.
You have bot traffic and you have like manual user traffic.
Yeah.
You probably have like, I don't know, let's just say with bot, like let's just say 500 people running tasks in multiple instances, stuff like that, right? You probably have like, give or take 100,000 tasks right there
Yeah.
just from bots. And then you have manual users too. So it's like, out of all that, out of 8,000 pairs, how many of you are going to eat?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So
And
it's
then
like-
the site crashes.
It's over. It's like,
It's over,
that
yeah.
was the thing too. The site would crash. Like, you know, I'd be on my computer. It's like probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then,
And then your Discord's like it'll go up in 15 minutes or
Exactly,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So it's like I don't think it's worth it anymore. It's too expensive. Most of these pairs you don't even make profit off of it. It's like mainly like Travis Scott's. How are you gonna buy Travis Scott's?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Nah, word.
But do you think that has to do with like apps being like obviously sneakers app? There isn't really like a bot for that. It's just like you could have multiple unique phone numbers and emails and all that.
Oh no, Nike botting at its peak was amazing, and
Yeah,
even
but
till
like-
this day,
But like you still think that's effective till this day?
not public bots, like, you know, bots that you buy,
Mhm.
not those, but people that have private bots,
Right.
they're definitely still eating.
Right. That makes sense.
Nah, word.
Because you forget, it's like, you know, you make a software to check out shoes. No matter how secure you have it, it's like one way or another, people are gonna get into that code that you have.
Nah, yeah.
And I'm not saying Nike does that or Adidas does it, but one way or another, like whatever you're using, it's like it's gonna get patched sooner or later. So it's like it's constant keeping up with, like, you know, new updates and
You gotta
stuff
be on
like
top
that.
of
Yeah,
all of it,
exactly.
It's a lot of upkeep. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Word. I just want to say, I don't appreciate you carjacking me. I know it's happened a couple times.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
When you're trying to do something manually on several different accounts.
And then it's
then
just
you
straight
get
up.
carjacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any IPs banned? Like,
Oh yeah.
The Western Hemisphere.
Oh, if you wanna,
Have you ever gotten a zip code ban?
yes, let's talk about the zip code ban. So, Easy Supply. This was after they changed from Shopify. I think it was Demandware, if I'm not wrong. It's so
oh,
That-
Shopify was like easy.
it was
Took
easy
on.
and then it got hard and
Yeah.
then they switched to like Demandware, I think is what it's
Yeah.
called. Anyways, buying Easy Supply, one of my most favorites. I would go crazy.
All
Like,
you
you
saw
know,
was green.
yeah, look, you see him smirking over there. I would go crazy for Easy
Yeah,
Supply.
he would get off on that.
Yeah.
Man. It was crazy.
That was my one way of coping with whatever was going on. Easy Supply, like, that was my thing. Anyways, the old store, 633 Newark Avenue. I think the zip code was 07306, right?
Yes.
At that time, that was any pair that we bought it from Easy Supply would get delivered to the store.
Our store.
Yeah.
Yes, until the zip code got banned. Anyways, so we were checking out so much. Like,
So wait. Are you saying that sold out ban 07306?
from Easy Supply, yes. And
Jesus
remember,
Christ. Sorry, viewers.
Yeah.
If you're
If you-
wondering why you didn't get that, it's not because you weren't fast enough. It's because Sonny prevented it.
He beat you to it.
so here's the thing. The Easy Supply, the zip code ban wasn't on all the time. It was for hype drops. Like, let's just say foam runners, slides, the knit runners, whatever, like, less stock shoe there was and stuff. And even certain times, like certain 350s, you try from Easy Supply, as soon as you put in your zip code, in red letters, zip underscore code ban. That's all it would say. So you would not be able to check out from Easy Supply. But then there would be certain drops where it was like a lot of stock and they wouldn't even enforce it.
Just trial and error, really. That's what it sounds
So
like.
when you get through, you know that it was a shit drop.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
You know you should have put your money into that.
exactly.
On average, though, how much do you think you spent botting? This includes proxies, your bots, setups, maybe whatever graphics card
Like you're saying,
running.
like per time. I mean, per drop.
No, just overall, like over the course that you've botted, because obviously you're retired now.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. That I don't know, but let's just say, for example, a drop. You wake up at 7 a.m. for foot sites, and you have Easy Supply and Adidas at 10. Nike would drop at that time too, and then you have like Shopify sites like Kith dropping at 10, and then I forget what stores it was. Certain stores would drop at 12 o'clock. So you're there from 7 to 12, just sitting in front of your computer trying to get shoes, and then the night before
You're setting up.
you're setting up.
Yeah.
So like I'd get home from school, whatever it was, like 6 o'clock to probably midnight, just setting up. So it was like a lot of hours went into it.
Jeez.
Word.
What were you running on? Because I know you're not running on like a MacBook.
Oh
right?
no! Oh, I had a piped up PC. That shit has 16 fans in it. It was piped.
Yo, you even got our director laughing.
Hey, yo.
What do you mean by that? Hey, yo. What do you mean by that?
Yo, piped up PC is crazy. What was your PC setup? Not that I know, but like, you know.
It was a custom build.
It was an alien wire.
No, it was a custom
Alien,
build.
Alienware. It's Alienware.
I think I have a i9 processor in it.
Oh, yeah,
My
me too.
graphics card was shit. I didn't want to keep a graphic because you're selling for 2,000-3,000. Might as well sell it rather than keep it. So I sold that, and then RAM. I think it was 128 gigs. I had it water cool, like with the pipes, the water running through all that cool
Jeez.
stuff.
You were saying pipes a little way too often right now.
Yo, for real.
And then the best thing was the fans. I put so many fans in there.
Wait, how much did this setup even cost, bro?
I would say, give or take, like 5-ish.
It's not.
Well, there
It's
was
whatever.
there's certain parts I didn't really include because I got them as a gift.
Ah,
So
here
it's
we
like
go.
what I paid for is like I would say around like 5 because had
Gift?
my mom buy it for me, my
Oh.
brother, stuff like that. So
Yo, yeah, are you running like Minecraft at like, what is it, 120p?
no, I actually play Microsoft Flight Simulator, fly planes.
All right, on that note, we are out.
This has been another episode of Buy Sell Trade.
Buy, sell, talk.
Buy-
Buy, sell,
buy,
talk,
sell,
buddy. Buy,
talk.
sell, talk. Well, once again, thank you for viewing. Check out Blue Royale. If you're in the market for trying some new liquor, we definitely suggest it. Thank you, Sonny, for coming on and sharing your experience.
Speaking about experiences, Brian, one thing we didn't share was a couple weeks ago I did a sneaker panel.
Oh,
for,
yes, yes,
Jersey
yes,
City
yes, yes.
Fashion Week. That was pretty cool. We had the Madam Council President establish that, and it was pretty dope. You guys can check out the different footage and stuff like that here, and we'll leave you with that.
And this has been episode 10 of Buy, Sell, Talk with Sonny, of course, our very own. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate everyone who views us religiously. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about next time around.
Word.
We're eager to know what you guys think. Any feedback really helps out. Tell your mom, tell your friends, tell anyone really to watch this because we love the support. But until next time.
Peace.
All right, thank you very much.